Hi, I'm Tanner, and this is Eric.
And this is our Global Academy project, and it is 1 in the morning.
All right, and today we're talking about longboards and the economic and um, environmental state. And all right, so we're gonna start out with if you were to go into any longboard shop anywhere, you would find an average deck around $200 just for the deck, and an extra 50 for trucks, and add another 50 for the wheels. That racks up about $300 for a piece of wood and wheels.
There's a way to spend less money, but it requires work. All Americans think nowadays is you have to get all things from a store and out of your pocket.
All right, so for our project, we have made our own longboard out of plywood and home materials. Within 2 days, we accomplished a working rideable longboard that we can ride just like anything else at a cost of half a longboard. This saves you an average about $150 to $200.
This makes efficient, environmental, and sustainable for everyone because by using the plywood, it makes it easier for the trees and the environment because plywood is made up of pressed leftover wood, so kind of like recycled wood.
Basically what Eric said. And then it's economically efficient because it costs us virtually $0 to make it. So we just used wood out of Eric's dad's house, and wood you can find around the house, and it looks like a very clean longboard. The only thing we paid for was a can
The clear coat spray.
of clear coat spray, and we saved so much money, and by doing this, it makes consumption reduce.
We decided to make this longboard because it's both something we love and have fun doing. Plus, we want an easier way to have a longboard without trying to spend a lot of money. Fortunately, it was a success.
Yes, very fortunate. Some of the mental models, before even making the longboard was everybody would think you would have to go to a longboard shop and you'd have to buy your own longboard for around $200, and then well, there's nothing you can really do about the trucks and wheels, which is around $100. Everybody thought that you'd have to buy a longboard at a longboard shop for the cost of around $200 for just an average longboard. But we proved that we can make a longboard at home with only plywood, which is very, very cheap compared to the wood that is used on a longboard. And the new mental model right now is it brings the same experience of an expensive longboard to an inexpensive longboard, just with a little work.
And here are the clips of how we made it, pictures, and the final product. And a cat.
Meow.
Meow.
Okay. So today I'm going to show you how we made our longboard and how it's sustainable. So this here is actually a factory-made longboard made by an actual company, not us. It's made by Arbor Longboards, and this deck just itself, it was $150. This is Eric's deck, Eric Graf, and it's a very expensive deck, but it's also a very nice longboard, and we are hoping to make like a nice longboard also. So but we, instead of like using like any special wood, we had just plywood. So this is the longboard we use, and we use plywood from Eric's dad's like stuff of wood. And what we did with the plywood. So what we did with this board is we cut in half a piece of plywood, and we glued it together, and overnight we let it dry. and then we just screwed the trucks on from Eric's board. And yeah, this longboard cost us virtually $0 besides this, which was $10. It's a clear coat of paint, and it gives the longboard a little shine, and we're going to show you how we make the longboard. So, the money we spent on this deck is about
Making it, pressing it.
$0 except work, I guess. We spent work.
Hours.
Yeah.
The only money we spent was $10 for.
We spent money on clear coats of a paint, pretty much, just for the just to make it
the
look
seal.
Yeah, just for the seal.
And the gloss.
And that's pretty much all the money we spent. But if one were to buy plywood out of storage, it'd be like around like over half the or under half the price of what that deck cost. So yeah,
We didn't buy this. We just used all this stuff.
yeah. Actually, we didn't actually buy the plywood. We just used plywood that Eric's dad had in his garage. So we're gonna show you how we made it.
But we actually did take these trucks and everything off.
Yeah, the trucks are actually from his board, and the trucks added to the board.
And wheels would be about $90.
So this is our workstation, pretty much. This is where we did pretty much all of our work here. So this is the plywood that we use to build the longboard. It's same type of plywood, just cut in half and glued together, pretty much. And this is actually cut from the board to make the board, look better. And our workstation over here is where we cut it, and we used a skill saw, a skill saw, a table saw, and we use a detail saw. We use a speed square.
Our trusty level.
Oh yeah, we have levels. We use pretty much everything metric, so everything was evened out onto the board table.
We also used this sanding equipment, this orbital sander, which after about 5 hours of sanding and rounding down the edges wore out, and you had to use this very old one that is also worn out now.
Yeah, it took a while to sand. We used all these appliances right here. It's just a bunch of tools in here, but a bunch of wrenches and I don't know what's in there. Eric can tell you.
Knives, drills, bits, all that good stuff. So basically, after we cut it and glued the pieces, we took a couple pieces of 2x4s and we pressed them together. Then to make the concave, which is the bend in the board. As you can see, it has the concave in the middle, the dip in the very middle of the board. Not a big one, but a good one. And then we did that by taking a couple pieces of plywood, sawing them to make the concave. And then what we did is we took the concave on the bottom, and then we put the piece on top, and then we drilled it right there, and right there.
And then it would bend the plywood this way, so the board would make a dip, and so when the rider actually rides the board, their arc of the foot can actually adjust to the board and actually ride smoother instead of just riding flat, which is not good for the feet, by the way.
Or my other deck. So, a couple days ago, it took me about 5 or 6 hours to round the edges from it being a flat, straight edge to making it look nice and rounded all the way around. And then just had to sand it to make it all smoothed out.
Very smooth, very smooth.
Very smooth.
And all we did was take Eric's trucks off of his regular board, his older board. And all we did was drill holes that matched the truck sizes and we just used the same screws, and then we screwed it in, and used his wheels and everything. So it's all the same wheels that he has on his board. So
Everything came off
and it
of
works too.
this
It all
board.
works.
Put onto this board.
It works.
That didn't take that long. We took this clear coat, a bunch of newspapers, and the board, set it out where that car is when it wasn't here, and I put the clear coat on. I put about 3 or 4 coats of this just to seal the wood in and give it its nice little shine it has.
And that was how we made this board.